The type of water that I was drinking when I grew half an inch in 1 month, 10 years ago, May 2013, the type of water that I was drinking was DreamTree water. DreamTree, like you're having a dream. DreamTree water. And there were reasons why I drank that water, but first, let me tell you an interesting thing that happened. One day when I was drinking the water, and what I did was I held my head back and opened my mouth, like to pour it in. You know, you can put your mouth on a cup or whatever when you're drinking, but instead of putting my mouth on a cup, and by the way, I think at this time the water was in a pitcher. There's a certain pitcher that DreamTree has. It's called a power pitcher. Okay? A power pitcher. And so I was drinking from the power pitcher, and I didn't want to touch the pitcher, right? I didn't want to put my mouth on it. So I just threw my head back, opened my mouth, and let the water pour inside my mouth. When I did that, when it hit my tongue or my teeth, it was either my tongue or my teeth, I felt an electric shock. As far as I remember, that had never happened to me before. It is true, if I remember correctly. I'm just going from memory. I don't have my notes from back then. I'm just going off of memory here. And I got some old videos that I put out showing what I did, but I'm not even going through all those hours of video footage. But just telling you from my memory, DreamTree water is basically ionically charged water. So the water does have an electric charge. I thought that was interesting, and so when I drank it, and it didn't happen every time, but I noticed at a particular point, when I would pour that water in my mouth, it would shock either my teeth or my tongue, whatever the water hit, whenever I would drink it like that. You know, just throw my head back, open my mouth. I don't know if that's ever happened to you, but that happened to me. And ever since then, every now and then, it continues to happen. I believe it has happened a few times, even when drinking distilled water. Now, does that mean that I'm charged? Does it mean that there's something wrong with me? Does it mean that something is going right in my chemistry? Or does it mean something is going wrong in my chemistry? I don't know. But what I do know is I was drinking DreamTree water 10 years ago. Every now and then it would shock my tongue or my teeth. And during that time, my morning height went up half an inch. Okay? So that sounds good to me. Now at the time I did have knowledge about other types of water. I had already learned about structured water. I also knew about a company called Kangen water. But what I learned about DreamTree water was more fascinating to me. And it seemed to coincide more strongly with my goals. It seems that the water was more advanced. Some may even say technologically advanced, but in a natural way, using natural technologies. Okay? I have various reasons why I chose that water. And by the way, it's shocking me. That wasn't immediate. I think it happened like after a little bit of time, but I do believe it did happen within that month of May. Now I just had a thought. Did I actually know about it in September of 2012? And so decided to load up on it for May? Yes, I knew about the water before May. So it's possible that the water may have shocked me before May 2013, because by May 2013 I was already aware of the water. Okay, so yeah, and I remember one of those days it shocked me. I was in the parking lot of a Whole Foods, and it was at night, and for some reason I'm picturing September 2012. I don't know if that makes full sense to me, but anyway, the point is, in May I decided to have my power picture. We may have even gotten the sink filtration thing. You can like put it under your sink. I'm not sure that we got that. Maybe we did, but I know we had to have had that power picture. And then there's a DreamTree store in the Houston area, and so we would go there and we could fill up gallons of water with the water. Cool place. It's actually still in Houston. They have a phone number. You can visit it. Just look it up, DreamTree Water. Okay? And yeah, that was a special place. Okay? Now, of the various reasons why I chose to drink that water, one of the reasons was that I had come to the understanding that when the body is in an alkaline state, it's in a building state. It's in a bone building state. Bone is being eaten away when the body is acidic. But when the body is neutral, the bones are staying the same. And when the body is alkaline, the bones are building. I came to that understanding, okay? So you got that? When the body is acidic, you're losing bone. When the body is neutral, your bones are staying the same. When your body is alkaline, your bones are building. That's what I had come to understand. The DreamTree water was very alkaline, and from my understanding, it was alkaline in a natural way, and so I decided that I would drink that water. Now, there's a school of thought out there that says alkaline water may be good on a temporary basis, but it's not something that you want to drink continually long term. And I'm kind of leaning in that direction. I think maybe the best water to drink is more neutral type water that's neutral on a pH scale. Maybe that's probably more healthy, but I do believe that sometimes your body might be in a state where it could benefit from drinking alkaline water, but it should only be on a short-term basis, not long-term. So, with that in mind, if anyone were to go on a short, grow tall journey where they're doing all the right things, I think alkaline water would be a good thing to do. And some may say, oh, you should get this alkaline water, that alkaline water. Look, let's just be dumb for a moment. Let's just be dumb and not that smart. Okay, let's just be simple. All I know is the DreamTree water is what I was taking. So, hey, it's up to you. If you want to experiment with other waters, have at it. But just know, time is ticking away. So is your life. And if you want to just, do things the fastest way as possible, what I can tell you is that I was taking DreamTree water when I was having those height increases. Okay, from that, hey, do what you want to do. I'm telling you what I did. Okay? Another thing that I liked about the DreamTree water was the technology that they were using to create the charge, the ionic charge, if I'm using the right language here. They would use these clay balls, and these clay would mimic the well water. Like when you dig down for water, it's rich in minerals, and it makes the water alkaline, and it's technically hard water. You have hard water and you have soft water. Hard water is rich in minerals. Soft water is not. There are different thoughts. Some people say hard water is bad for your heart. But I've come to learn different things. Sure, some types of hard water might be bad for the heart, maybe. But I've come to different understandings about the heart, the nature of the circulatory system, and I've come to learn different things about minerals and how minerals can actually help the heart. So, but the thing is, I don't know everything. So at the end of the day, when I was on this Grow Tall routine, it was, short term, and if there was any concern about the heart, well, one thing that I would do is take the plasma flow, which was good for the circulatory system. So it's like, hey, I'm really doing some good things, because not only is it helping my circulatory system, it's also moving the nutrients and the minerals to every single millimeter of my body. So anyway, that's what I was doing. Is more than I can say. Can't think of it, but hey, this is the water I was drinking. Okay, and it was interesting that it was shocking. I remember when it shocked me. It was like, oh, I guess I really am Flash. I'm drinking the Flash. Okay, and then I had this pitcher. It was a power pitcher, so I'm increasing my powers when I drink it. And yeah, it was cool. I'm drinking from the power pitcher, and then a flash of lightning occurs while I'm drinking it. Yeah, this stuff sound, storybook, comic book. But I'm telling you, this stuff was happening in real life. And I've always believed fact is stranger, more beautiful, more wonderful than fiction. I've always believed that. And, I feel like instead of watching a movie, why not make your life a movie? And I think I get part of that from reading the Bible. There's some beautiful stories in the Bible, and the thing is, these things happen to real people. So, and there is language in the Bible that indicates that it's up to you. You can have a beautiful life, and the most beautiful life you can have is one that is aligned with God. Okay, so, hey, yeah. And God like cool stuff, and He don't mind helping you to experience cool stuff in your life. So, hey, just telling you what happened. You can do whatever you want with it. Again, it was called DreamTree water. You can look it up. The picture I had was a power picture. And I also, at some point, I got the sync unit as well. And the pH, I think they had these pH strips. You could measure it. I'm not sure. But if I had to guess what the pH was, it was probably between 8.5 and 9.5. That was probably the pH of my water. And I had the confidence that I was in a bone building state. I think another thing that probably put me in a positive frame of mind about this water is that I knew of a guy who was in his 80s. He could have been in his mid 80s or late 80s. I don't think it was early 80s. I think it was mid or late 80s. And he was vibrant, and he would work in his garden, and he would grow greens. And the greens were just really, really good. And this man had just incredible health. And so there was a conversation he had, and it was revealed that the greens were being watered with well water. And well water was the type of water he drank. So he would drink well water, and the greens were from well water. And it was just awesome. The greens looked good, and he looked good. And so, I don't know if my memory is playing tricks on me right now, but I may have known of his story before I started taking the DreamTree water. Because when I heard about the balls that mimicked well water, that was exciting to me. I said, oh, there's youth there. There's youth in that water. There's vibrancy. There's life in it. Because it mimics well water. Okay? And finally, I'll mention that in the book Nourishing Traditions, there's a story about a town, I believe it's in Texas. There's a story about a town in Texas where they had water of a certain quality. I believe it was from a well or some natural reservoir or something like that. But the people had excellent teeth, and they were tall, and they looked beautiful. And the water was hard water. It was hard water. But the people were healthy and everything. Okay? I also knew about the Hunza people. The Hunza people, they're a tall race of people. And when they drink water, it's actually cloudy. It looks a little milky. It looks like they're drinking skim milk, but it's water. And the water is full of minerals. So is that hard water? I don't know. But the people live long, and they're tall, and the water is full of minerals, and I believe it was alkaline. And there was a high level of calcium in the water. And I believe, I don't want to give you wrong information here, so I encourage you to do your own research. Look it up. It's the Hunza people, Hunza. I believe at one point I read about them that on average they consumed about 4,000 milligrams of calcium a day. 4,000. The daily allowance for calcium in America is like 1,000 to 1,300, depending on your age. Okay? 1,000 to 1,300, depending on your age. Well, the Hunza people were doing 4,000, if my memory serves me correctly. But what's to be understood is that it wasn't synthetic calcium. It was from natural sources, okay? That the body could digest well, could assimilate well. It wasn't harming them, it was helping them. All calciums are not the same. So there's way more that I can say about this water, but I'll end it here. You can do your research. It's called DreamTree. I think the website is DreamTree Family. DreamTree Family.